You can be whatever you want to be, man.
Hey.
So are you guys
Aiden,
okay
are you on
with-
point?
I'm gonna make a prank for my upcoming games. I'm basically gonna have who do you think fucks this up worse, the Lakers or the Spurs?
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, Lakers all day long. Because LeBron James, as old as fuck.
JT, I'm sorry. I'm not just trying to only hate on the Lakers, man.
Why do you have so much hate for LeBron James, bro?
I don't hate. I got lots of love and respect.
I'm talking to Chris.
Me, no, yeah.
I'm talking to Pepe.
I think he's overrated. He hasn't done anything when he's by himself. He's not. It's not the old school early '90s. You get drafted, you play for that team.
You honestly fucking think Michael Jordan did anything by himself? What are you
Yeah,
talking
well,
about, kid?
Pippen.
Michael Jordan would
it
have
wasn't-
Scottie
it's
Pippen,
not
Horace
like-
Grant,
it's
Dennis
not-
Rodman, Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc, fucking
Yeah,
Luke
what did
Wellington,
they- what
Bill
did they
Walton,
do-
on and on and on
What
and on.
did they do when they left? What did they do when they left Chicago?
Purdue. What?
What did all those guys do when they left Chicago? Nada.
They waited for Michael Jordan to get back after his gambling suspension. That's what they did.
Hey guys,
And then they brought in Rodman and said, "Look, let's
It was a
win 3
retirement.
more."
Yo, guys, quick public service announcement for those of us who have arrived after service and are enjoying some cold beverages. Just in case there was a bartender that handed you all those beverages, do not be afraid to tip them a couple of bucks in cash.
Yeah. Take care of the wait staff. Or what's left of the wait staff.
Perfect. Yeah. Just
Hey, Furman, where's Allie at?
just in case.
He's outside on the
She's
phone.
been on the phone?
I'm ready to. Yeah.
She's been on the phone for like 20 minutes.
Yo, raise your hand if you're ready.
Yeah, a lot of gossip.
Ready? Rock and roll. Cool.
Pick me.
Are you doing
so,
a little?
You're doing the pre thing, right?
Oh, shit, we're live.
shit.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Then you do us the thing. Count it down.
Coming soon, we got
Yeah.
that BS
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Get Show. I am your host, Cyrus the Virus. This is episode 5. If you've made it this far and you're still watching, God bless you, because we've been off the rails quite a bit.
Let go.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Yeah.
This is my host. I'm the
Don't be
host.
so
These are
handsy
the
over
people
there,
that are
buddy.
rolling with us today. This is my good partner here, Chef Tony. Say hello.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Next
Great
to
meals.
him is Mr. Christopher Pappies, our guest panelist, stepping in for today.
Good afternoon.
Great butt.
Yeah, cool. And down at the end is the man with the motherfucking plan and the guy that owns this great establishment, The Exchange, Mr. Hank Harrison.
Wow, one of the gentlemen
thank
lucky
you,
enough
Hank.
to be owning this bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the machine, boys and girls. This week's sponsor is I'll hand it off
This
to
week
Tony.
we're going to take it a different way. We got the Chef Showdown coming up. Chef Madness, April 6th here at the Exchange. 16 chefs competing head-to-head for the title. This year's going to be a little different. We're going to invite kids to be the chefs, and the chefs are going to be the assistants. So should be a really fun day. We have some local radio and TV people coming out. We got a lot of sponsors, a lot of good stuff, a lot of great food. So make sure you come down to the Exchange April 6th, Saturday.
Wow.
It starts at noon all day.
Wow.
Sounds like some Food Network shit, Bobby Flay.
It's going to
Yeah.
be so much fun, man.
It's
I
going to
love it.
be a battle.
Hey, is Pioneer Woman going to be there? I know Hannah really likes her.
Yeah, all right, so look, I've seen Chef Tony assist people before, and I'll tell you what, it basically goes 3 different chapters of this process. One, that person starts doing what they're doing, and Chef Tony does the whole, Navarro, he'll recognize this, the over-the-shoulder method, and then somewhere in the middle of it, Chef realizes that they should learn some of the things that he has to teach them.
Yeah.
And then let's just
Sounds like
skip
a party.
forward a little bit. By the third one, you've got yourself an incredible meal.
Nobody
Yeah,
gets
and then
stabbed.
you can eat.
It's all
Then you
fine.
eat,
Incredible
right?
meal.
And who
Sometimes
doesn't like
people get
eating?
stabbed.
It only hurts the first time.
So, contrary to what
like
this
adobo.
seems like up here, contrary to popular belief, we are not sponsored by Lone Star, but we will be drinking their beers.
But we are
And,
sponsored by the Dallas Cowboys.
And we are not
Yeah.
sponsored by the
Cowboys
Dallas Cowboys.
suck.
Actually, there's only one person up here that
Yeah.
likes the Cowboys, but he happens to own the bar, so I guess we have to
He
roll
loves
with
the
it.
Cowboys.
Yeah, boo.
Go
So,
Cowboys.
Cowboys
disclaimer for everybody, like I said, that's still watching. We
They suck.
might not.
Really suck.
We say vulgar things, and if you don't like it, I suggest you tune into NPR.
Tune out.
If not, just keep on
C-SPAN,
rolling with us.
C-SPAN.
If you like beer, sports, and shenanigans, that's what we're all about. So,
Cuckballs.
to kick us off, let's kick it over to Mr. Hank, and we'll talk about some recap of the NBA last week. What's up, Hank?
Some recap of the NBA. So I'm not gonna lie, man. I want to talk about a couple of games, and I got to call some backup in. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna get it started. But I want to call
Do we have JT?
Hey JT, where you at, JT?
Yeah. Where's our guest panelist, JT?
Yell at that guy.
Yeah. Hey.
All right,
hey.
we'll get him up
So-
here in a minute.
Yeah,
We'll get
yeah.
up here in a
You
minute,
had
but-
your shot. You blew it.
There we
It's your
go.
first
He's on
chance
his
at
way.
fame over
Boom.
here. And
There
hey,
he is. Yeah, my man. There we go.
Let's talk ball on
All
the
right,
camera.
guys,
Come on, boys.
So check this out. I'd like to bring in a quick special guest. This cat's as cool as they come. And I tell you what, man, this guy can throw down about as good as anybody can. But one thing that he can definitely do is talk about some basketball.
All right, let's
so
hear it.
can we
Let's hear it.
please pass it over to a special guest? We got JT from the Exchange right
Let's
here.
hear it, man.
And
Do
we-
work.
and we got a couple games we're talking about here. We got the LA game. Where the Pelicans had a couple things to say about it, and then we also got that Golden State game where Steve Kerr had a funny look on his face. I think you got something.
Yeah,
to
let's talk about
these games.
Golden
Yeah,
State.
tell us, JT, what's good in the NBA this week?
All right, I want to start off by saying y'all missed a great game by watching those two games.
Oh, okay.
D'Angelo Russell dropped 40 points on his birthday. His birthday yesterday. 2 steals, 6 3-pointers. I'm sorry, too good. Aside from that, man, let's talk
I think
about.
everyone wants to know about that Steve Kerr incident.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying right now. Draymond Green goes down fourth quarter with 9 minutes to go. Drops. Boom. What happened? Nobody knows. Nobody's paying attention to this cat. He's laying on the floor holding his foot.
Everybody's like, who's Draymond?
Everybody's watching the game. Who's Draymond? What's Draymond doing? Why is he sitting down right now? I thought he was supposed to be on the court.
Why do we have 4 people on the court right now?
Because we have 4 All-Stars on the court. We ain't worried about Draymond Green, baby.
Man.
Boom.
I think Draymond Green has the look of a guy that's kind of worn out his welcome in Golden State.
Draymond Green wore out his welcome a couple months ago when he was pissing off the real man.
Mouth was a little too big, you know.
I have a feeling.
Everybody's sick
I have a
of it.
feeling your fan favorite Golden State Warriors are going to look a lot different next year.
Oh, definitely. I see them losing at least 2 of those 4 All-Stars. That's right. I said 4, not
I see
Draymond.
it. I see
Draymond's
it.
no
I think
All-Star.
KD.
No.
I think KD is going to be one of them for sure. Just a little dark horse comment. I think that KD's on his way out.
I think he's gone. I think Clay's gone.
I think Clay has a good case to run, go get his own team. He's a great player. Like I was saying, he's a pure shooter. Nobody has a shot that you can just jump back, bounce up, and it's in.
Yeah.
No, you're not worried about it. Yes, Steph Curry, he's got a great shot. He can make shots that are impossible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
is it as pure as Klay Thompson's? Look at this. Drops.
Look at Steve Kerr.
Steve Curry, you got anything to say?
He didn't move.
No.
Nothing to say.
Great.
I think.
Not till the play was over.
I think aside from all the the Klay Thompson banter is the dude needs to get some better shoes. If you're gonna be that good, get a better signature shoe. That shoe sucks. Coming from a sneakerhead, I'm just.
Not yet. We're going to talk shoes here in a bit.
Steph Curry has a pretty shitty shoe too. So,
He's got them dad shoes.
Golden State needs to up their shoe collection.
KD's got some sick shoes, man. I love
I like
KD's shoes.
KD's. I like KD's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we went off the rails there. I'm sorry. Let's jump back into the game.
Jump in.
Hell yeah. Yo, hey, JT, I'm telling you, come over
JT, thank you.
Yo, you got anything to say about
guest paneling?
All right.
I'm telling you,
All right.
some of the most legit food you're going to find, and way better than the shoes we're about to be talking about a little bit later on in the show. I know Bob has something to say about all that, too. Hey, JT, thank you.
All right, what do you got, Hank? What else you got?
Well, no, I mean, that was basically it. I mean, we're talking about trying to come back and look back in the NBA, and it's really tough not to get there with a sense of humor and talk about Steve Kerr completely looking at green.
That was awesome.
Anyway, it's the funniest thing I can think of. But anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about, this is a little bit less about the game itself. We're talking a little bit more about the that Lakers Pelicans game, and we talked about it a little bit before the show. I mean, we can talk stats here, but I want to talk a little bit more general sense about what in the hell is going on with LA. We're looking at
LeBron's
James.
team. Wait.
LeBron's
If you're
going on in
asking
LA.
Lamar Ball, it's Alonzo's team. But yeah.
Well, I mean, all right.
That's
so
part
we
of the
got-
problem with the Lakers, right there, LeVar Ball.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So
And
here's the thing.
LeBron's old.
Yeah.
LeBron
is not old.
LeBron's not that old.
He's ran more
Still an
miles
absolute
than
animal.
a marathon runner at 60.
Well,
He's
you
an
can't tell me
absolute
that.
animal. He's not old.
Yeah, he's old. There's a lot of miles on those legs.
All right,
and
all
I
right.
think it's just starting to wear
Maybe
out.
his shoulders
All
hurt
right,
from carrying
so-
teams for like
Here's the
20
thing.
years.
Here's the thing. Look, all right. So LeBron James, LeBron James gets put on a team these days because he is going to deliver a championship, right?
Yeah.
Is that
That's,
right?
That's
Is
the
that fair to
thing.
say?
It's like LeBron is like your missing
That's
key,
the thing.
right?
If it's fair to say that LeBron James' job is to deliver championships, and he goes to a team that is known for greatness, a franchise,
Yeah.
and you're looking at 60 games into the season, and you're outside the bubble.
How many games has he missed?
Yeah.
I don't know. It don't matter.
and you have
It does matter.
Isn't he supposed to be something of a coach?
failed trade for Anthony Davis too. LA had a failed trade for Anthony Davis. That was supposed to help put them.
I want to make sure we talk about that too. So let's talk about that. I mean, so we got AD and Cyrus. You were cracking a joke before the show that of course it has nothing to do with the trade talks that he was benched for that game. Of course that's nothing to do with it. Cyrus, tell me a little bit about why. Of course it has something to do with it.
Well, I mean, it's just like he's there, and the guy got fired. The vice president or whatever, the general manager in New Orleans, for just basically not even trying to offload him because he was spiteful about the guy trying to get out of there. LA, it looked like, from what I could see, did everything but throw the kitchen sink, including LeBron, to try to get that guy. We'll see what happens in the offseason, but and I don't know. It's a sticky situation. The guy lost a job over it, so it's a big deal if you're a GM and you lose your job midway
you're bringing
through
me
the season.
down, and B, I'm still talking about LeBron. I still have a damn problem
that's
with the fact that
LeBron.
in
That was
LA.
what they were trying to do, is get LeBron his guy. Like if you start off with AD,
Yeah, because LeBron can't carry a team.
Well,
Thank you.
all right. That's a debate that's like long standing, right?
Insane.
LeBron is no Michael Jordan. LeBron is no Michael Jordan.
Are we getting into the GOAT versus the king again? Are we?
No.
I don't want to.
I mean, well, all right. So, I mean, that's effectively what I'm talking about, though. I mean, like, I'm trying to make commentary on. You're talking about LeBron. LeBron James is on a team where you're. I mean, so Bob, right? We were talking earlier. We were basically talking about, like, so is it the team's fault or is it LeBron's fault? I think that the premise of that conversation is bullshit. Because if you're having a conversation where is it the player's fault for not picking this team up and just being in the playoffs already, or is it the team's fault for not being good
Wasn't
enough
he
to play
injured
with that
for
player?
20 games
Wait,
this year?
That's what I'm trying to say.
But hang on. What I'm getting at is that if importing LeBron James is a matter of importing culture, you're not talking about importing him being just on the court. You're talking about importing a standard. And if the standard's not there, I mean, do you blame it on the injury?
Do you doubt anything that LeBron has done off the court? I mean, like he's implemented a culture everywhere he's gone about working out throughout your offseason. I mean, look at the guy. He's a beast. He's 34, 33,
But
whatever.
he's a
an
beast.
absolute
Aren't they
animal.
importing that culture on the entire team?
You would hope so, but who knows what's going on with Alonzo? Look at his fucking dad.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean I mean, I don't know. It's everyone expected when LeBron got to LA, it was like the stars aligned. Mm-hmm. He's in LA. He's got production company. He wants to be in the big show, right?
It's supposed to be Kobe eat your heart out.
Exactly.
LeBron's
Like,
about to bring
and that's,
5
this
championships
is,
in a row.
He's coming here. He's going to change. He's going to get it back to Kobe, Shaq days.
Get it back too, but not do it immediately. There was never a thought in it.
He signed a 4-year deal, and I imagine he signed a 4-year. He signed a 4-year deal because he expected it to take a while.
With that team that he has right now,
Is it true that he said that nobody else was working hard enough?
I don't know that.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I heard
Bob
that.
said
I heard that
yes.
before we had this. I heard that before we had this episode.
Well,
that apparently LeBron's saying that nobody else is working hard enough. Is that LeBron saying that it's everybody else's fault? It's not
Is
his
that
fault?
LeBron trying to turn himself into the next head coach of the Lakers? I don't know.
No. It's an old guy. He can't do it all on his own anymore.
He's
not an old
Yeah,
guy.
he's not.
He's
You
got
keep
a-
saying that he's not old, and look at him. He's in phenomenal shape. He'll kick you from here to Kingdom Come. Like
Yeah, but that's about him. It's a team game.
yeah, I know.
But I'm saying
but
he-
you
he's
think
not-
his shoulders are sore from
he's-
carrying teams for 20
Yeah,
years?
yeah.
Like
That's what I'm saying.
No
He's
doubt.
Hey
not
Jay, is
the
anybody
same
watching
guy
right now?
that he
Can we get a
was.
comment or something? Is anybody commenting on this thing? If anybody is, first of all, you've got a free beer on me next time you come down to the exchange.
Bam.
all right. Let's move on from LA.
Let's move on.
Yeah,
All right,
sure, it is LA.
so that's the NBA. So who else has got something? The
What do you got?
NBA.
We got some NHL stuff for us?
Yeah. I'll be a little bit quicker with my NHL stuff, but
What are you
hey,
talking about? That was 4 minutes.
All right.
That was well within
so
my time
if you guys
allotted,
tuned
sir.
into last episode, you know that I told you to tune in to Wednesday night NHL Red Wings Blackhawks original 6. Mike Tirico on the call. The man, Mike Tirico. If you guys have ever watched any of his calls, you know this guy's like he's born to do game calling. And never done an NHL game, but if you watched it, you would have thought he's been doing it for 20 years.
I love him at Augusta.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And, and the game was like, at the beginning, Red Wings are losing. They're losing 4-1 going into the third. They're just getting creamed. And then the Wings storm back, and with a couple of goals on the man advantage, and then they pull the goalie and tie it up on a beautiful deflection with seconds left. And Mike Tirico on the call, that was like, man, it was it gave me goosebumps. It was amazing. Even though the Wings are out of it, Chicago's kind of working their way back in. It was still good to see. It was good to see. And like I said, Tirico sounded like he's been doing it his whole life. So it was a magical moment for an original 6-game, and having Tirico be in his first NHL call. It went into overtime. MVP candidate Patrick Kane from Chicago ended up feeding us our lunch, winning it 5-4. Yeah.
Apparently your kid does not like this conversation.
Well, he's 6 months old. Give him a chance. He hates Patrick
like
Kane.
to hear the Red Wings losing.
He hates Patrick Kane in Chicago too. So that was that. And if you had a chance to watch it, you watched a magical moment. Like I said, I'm a slappy for Mike Tirico. So good job. And the next game, Philadelphia and Pens outdoors. I also prefaced this last week by saying you guys should watch it. It was the games. It was the Stadium Series outdoors in Lincoln Financial in Philadelphia, where the Eagles play. Under the lights, it was a hard-hitting. Turned out to be an absolute doozy of a game. Wayne Simmons, just a tough customer. He's probably going to be traded on Monday at the deadline, 3 p.m. He's been kind of the heart and soul besides Claude Giroux in Philadelphia for a long time. He was leveling people. He was making plays. He was doing everything he can. Turned out like the alternate jerseys they were wearing, the helmets, as Hank's showing over here, is outdoors in the rain. It started raining in the second period at the end, toward into the third. And the drama just ratcheted up there into the third period because Pittsburgh's winning 3-1 with like 4 minutes left. Claude Giroux brings his guys over. He rallies the troops. He says, hey, guys, we're not going to lose this game. And Philadelphia gets 2 goals in under 3 minutes, one in the last seconds of the game. In the rain, like I said. And they end up forcing overtime with seconds left and just dangles this guy and wins it for Philly. Like I said, they were winning. They were losing by 3 points or 2 points with just a couple minutes left. They force overtime. And you'll see right here, he dangles this guy, basically jukes him out of his shoes, out of his laces, put his jock strap in the rafters, and look at this goal right here. Boom.
Wow.
Hey, yeah, adios, Pittsburgh.
That's awesome.
Sidney Crosby's crying still in the locker room.
What a fun event.
In the rain, outdoors, under the lights. What a fucking doozy.
We were talking
I
about
hope
this
you guys
earlier. How
watched
much
it.
fun would it be to see an NBA game outside, back on the street?
Jockstrap hanging from the rafters. Even though there was no roof, it's hanging
look at that,
somewhere off
look
the
at that,
moon.
look at that.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it's
look at that move. Oh, my God. How does anybody even move that fast?
Yeah, it was a goodie, and that's what the NHL needs. They need stuff like that to bring in more fans. They need stuff like that. The drama,
but
the
it's
good
not
games.
Cheesy. It's not crap. That's an awesome event.
Yeah,
those kind of things.
Those are things you bring your family
so
to.
So much fun.
Yeah. We've been to outdoor games. Hannah and I went to one in Colorado. It was amazing. We got into fights. It was awesome. I loved it.
You guys had fights?
Yeah, not me and Hannah, but people.
The
Detroit fans and people.
Clearly,
people
Hannah won.
Yeah. If Hannah got in a fight, I wouldn't be saying here. But yeah, it was a great event, and from all accounts, I understand it went off without consequence. Like there wasn't a whole lot of a drama in the stands or in the streets or anything. No one set couches on fire or tipped over police cars. So.
Why not?
I know Philly has a reputation for being kind of assholes, but yeah.
Yeah.
Burn
down our own neighborhood.
Whoa.
So they're a good.
Don't drag
one
Detroit
time.
into this.
There are more
that
fires
one
set
time.
in Detroit annually than any other place in the world, dude.
Tony, we need to slap it over to you and get your NCAA out of the way. So let's
I'm
go.
wrong
Let's start
about
off
fires in
Kansas
Detroit. All right, let's go one real quick thing here. Kansas sucks. Kansas is done.
Yeah, I lost
Kansas
$100 on that
Cyrus
Kansas
lost
game.
$100. Everything's going to shit.
I know my boy Trojan lost a
Rock
couple
chalk,
bucks
choke
on that
hawk
too.
all day
Rock-
long.
is that what it was? Rock chalk?
Kansas
down.
and Tony's hair game are equal
They're
right
on
now.
par. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. So we'll talk about a couple of quick games. K-State, West Virginia. It was not a bad game. K-State definitely maintained their lead in the Big 12, but Texas Tech womping up on Kansas last night. It's a race for one of those two in that Big 12 now. Tennessee LSU. That game was taken to overtime.
Love
Bob
the
over
Tigers.
here, my
Love
buddy's
the
a big
Tigers.
SEC fan. We're going to hear from him here in a minute. But yeah, they came back in overtime to win that game, beat Tennessee. I had them at number 5 right now versus 13, but I believe that's going to change. Tennessee's dropping. Duke's number 1. They won again even after the let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. The Carolina Duke game on Wednesday night.
Yeah, Tony. I think we're gonna have a guest panelist coming here.
So something
and help
happened
you
in
talk
that
about
game. Something happened in that game about 33 seconds in, and it's the talk of the
What
town. It's
time
the only
was
thing anybody can talk about right now.
Yeah. I mean,
and we got our friend here, Bob. Bob is gonna come in.
Come on,
and
Bob.
Bob's gonna talk with me about this.
Come
real
on,
quick.
Bob.
Come on,
And
Bob.
We're gonna talk about
You got it,
Zion
Bob.
Williamson.
Tell him what's up. Tell him
Let's
And
do
we're
it,
gonna
Bob.
talk about
Everybody,
Nike.
if you don't
You
know
got it,
Bob,
Bob.
he is a regular down here.
Hold the red stripe in your hand while you're doing that.
It's true. I do love Red Stripe, by the way. Jamaican for beer. Hello, everybody. I'm Bob. Everybody in Corpus knows me. The rest of the world, welcome to my perfection.
Welcome to Bob.
Anyway.
Hi, Bob.
All right, so anybody that watches college basketball has seen, or even if you watch ESPN, if you don't watch college basketball, you've seen the footage of where the shoe splits and his foot comes out, right?
Yeah, it was a doozy.
Anyway, Zion Williamson, if you don't know, or a Duke hater, Duke lover, whatever, he's the best player in college basketball. He really is. Anybody wants
Hands
to
down.
Yeah,
Hands
Anybody
down.
wants to
He's
dispute
the number one
that,
overall
you
draft pick
just
coming out.
Talk to the hand, because he is.
Talk to the
So-
hand, huh, Bob?
Or talk to the foot.
Talk to the hand. Anyway, but
Maybe an
Bob.
elbow?
NBA players are telling him to not come back from it. Screw it. Let's, prepare for the NBA.
That's the right move, Bob?
Which is a horrible thing to do. He is the best player in college basketball. College basketball will be a worse place if he does not play. He is that fun to watch.
He is
I
fun.
hope he comes back. Luckily, it was a mild knee sprain.
I don't
Duke
disagree
hopes-
with you there.
Duke
Bob.
hopes he
saying
comes
day
back,
to
too.
day.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that foot.
They're saying day to day.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, right. So anyway,
Any comment from Nike? Any
Right,
word
so-
from Nike?
no,
Anything?
no
No,
comment
nothing.
from Nike.
Also,
I
real
could
quick,
say
I want
something
to
better.
put out
When
there.
you manufacture shoes in a third world country,
I'll,
this is what happens.
I'll go ahead and give the statement from Nike as long as everybody blames Bob for it. So Nike says we are obviously concerned and want to wish Zion a speedy recovery.
Yeah,
That's what Nike said.
you know why Nike's saying anything? Because their shares dropped $1.1 billion
Yes,
after
right.
this
they did.
happened.
Damn right.
That's
Yes,
why
they
they're
did.
even saying anything.
So anyway, Duke haters, Duke lovers, whatever. Duke, they're a great basketball team.
Can
They're
you
fun
say
to
Duke
watch.
one more
Coach
time?
K, right? It's fun to watch.
They are.
Because they know
They
kids
are.
are going to keep
I
buying
do
them.
hope the guy makes a comeback and comes back.
Duke. Fuck Duke. Fuck Duke.
Fuck Duke, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Twice on
you
Sunday.
don't like
Not Zion. Zion's
you don't like Coach K?
I'm in
When he coaches our Olympians, I love
Yeah,
the
yeah,
man.
you like him when
Otherwise,
he coaches
Everybody,
the US
everybody
team,
hates
but,
Duke
yeah.
because they always win, but that's because they're a good basketball team, and it's fun.
Are they paying their guys?
In the meantime, they've had to learn to play without him for the last two games, and I just
And they
wanna
did-
say
they won-
RJ
they won
Barrett
yesterday.
Has now scored 6 30-point
Yeah.
games, the most as a freshman.
They're-
for
they're
Duke
still
in
a good
10
team.
years.
I didn't know that. That's
they're still a good team. Are they a Final Four team now without Zion? If he were to not play, I'm not sure they're a
If
Final
he
Four
takes
team.
the advice and does not play, they are a Final Four team.
Really?
They will lose another game.
They
between
still
now
have
and
what?
then
So-
because they have to learn how to play without him.
Do
They
you
still
have
have three other
Alexander
first-round
Hamilton
picks
on
on
that?
that team,
have
right?
to learn to
Bob,
play without
no,
him.
no,
and
right
that's
now,
what they're
put
doing.
up or shut up. Do you have an
yeah.
Alexander Hamilton on that?
Oh, absolutely.
right
My
here.
bracket, they're totally going to Final Four.
All right.
Without a doubt.
I
It's-
say
you
no,
heard
and
it
I
here
got you.
first, boys.
You're going to owe me $20
And girls.
April
All right,
6th.
you
It's going
got
to be
it, 20
perfect.
bucks. And 2 beers.
Chef Madness, April 6th.
Oh, it's 20
Once again.
and
All right.
two
Well,
beers?
hey,
And 2 beers.
hey,
Wow, Bob,
everybody,
you're
give
wild.
give
You're
give
wild.
special Bob over here a round of applause.
Bob, thank you very much. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you for taking time out of your jet setting to come hang out with us.
Lovely insight. Thank you, sir.
So this poor guy has been spending a lot of time hanging out in let's see, Aruba. He went we went and hung out in the Bahamas for a little bit. If it's possible,
can't tell
to
by
find
his skin
somebody
color?
that finds better spots to drink margaritas, it's just about impossible.
He's a Florida slappy too, so I don't know. I don't know how much he can be trusted.
Yeah,
No-
it's
Probably a
some-
big Team Tebow fan. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Love Tebow.
Hey, switching gears a little bit here. Let's. I know Chris is passionate about one thing
I
here.
think it's time for dealer's choice.
Yeah. I think
Nice.
Chris was passionate about talking about the and it's a shame Xavier Ramos, our other kind of semi
It's not a shame.
permanent panelist here, is also not here because he's a big Patriot slappy, and the Patriots
Patriot
owner.
slappy
If you
who's
guys
currently in
don't
Florida.
know, if you guys have been living under a rock, the Patriots owner got himself in a little bit of a pickle recently, literal pickle.
He got arrested for
Chris, let's
prostitution.
talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I mean,
Robert
all I
Kraft?
got, Kraft. All I got to say about it is, leave the guy alone. He's out on his own.
Free
He's
Robert
an old,
Kraft.
Yeah, he's an old man. Let him do his thing. Leave him alone. $4 billion. Yeah, maybe he could have made some.
6.6.
6.6. Whatever.
Let's recap exactly what happened. Let's talk about that
Yeah,
first.
Give us an update.
Yeah, no, he
went-
walked in. He said,
yeah.
"Yes, I've been here before."
Yes,
and then,
yes, he went into a fine establishment, right? It was top shelf.
In
for sure.
Juniper, Florida. How many fine establishments are there in Juniper, Florida?
Oh, there's quite a few. That's a high dollar
Bob says
area.
0.
And so then so we went down to the local spot, and paid $80 and got a handy.
Oh,
Got
is
himself a woman
that
of the
the
year.
official
Leave
release?
the guy alone.
Is
you
that
know?
the official
Is that
release?
did you
on
say that? Is
leave
that
the
the
guy
official
alone.
release? Is
Yeah.
that what you literally just said? Cyrus,
Hey,
you're not allowed
pun
to say stuff
intended.
like
Pun
that.
intended.
No, it.
Hey, my thing on this is if you're worth $6.6 million, why are you
Billion,
going to a
billion.
handy? $6.6 billion with a B. If you're worth $6.6 billion and you're venturing out for that sort of thing, if that's your thing, make it happen. Make
but
it work somewhere else, not in a
That's
rub and
That's
tug.
why he's worth $6.6 billion.
No,
'cause he
I'm
goes on
buying the house
cheap
next
side.
to me.
Doesn't give
and
a
I'm-
fuck.
Yeah,
I'm not-
he goes
I'm
on the
not,
cheap side. You know,
I'm not going to
he's going
a
he's
shady
bargain
spa
deal
to do
kinda
this
guy,
type of
you
thing
know?
if I'm $6.6 billion.
Oi, what was it we were talking about during practice? We were talking about one thing.
Practice.
It wasn't talking over each other. It was talking about the Dallas Cowboys are the best team.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
geez.
boo.
Yeah. Few too many pops tonight, folks. We're sorry.
My thing is, like I said, if you're worth $6.6 billion, you make it happen without being an idiot. So, Robert Kraft, you are an idiot.
Robert
Moving
Kraft
right
is
along.
certainly an idiot.
Yeah.
Moving right along.
We know that
So-
because he's worth so much. He's such an idiot. He just send us some of his money and his problems.
No, like I said, he's got that 6.6 because he wasn't frugal with his money. You know, like, hey,
Well, he is frugal
a
with
handy's a handy. If you can get it for,
If you get $2 up on Leopard or $40,000 in an Airbnb in Juniper, Florida, either way.
Hey, so what?
Who cares?
What else we got for
That's
dealer's
what Rudy
choice?
used to say.
Hey,
Oh,
so-
here.
Tony,
come
on.
I got some dealer's choice things real
let's hear
quick.
about it.
Anybody care about cars turning left? Anybody care about people hitting little yellow fuzzy balls? Wait. Nah.
You mean tennis?
Anybody care about any sort of little white ball hitting until the Masters? Nah.
I like Tiger Woods.
What's next, Hank? What you got? You got what do you got? That's my dealer's choice right there. That's all I got.
okay.
that was nice.
No, I know. I've got it.
That was a good dealer's choice.
I've got it.
Let's hear it, Hank.
All right. No, I don't got it. I'm just kidding. I know. No. I mean, seriously. What? I do have commentary on golf though.
I
All right,
can't wait
let's
for
hear it,
golf.
let's hear it.
It's not
Okay,
time
okay.
yet. Tiger's sitting out this weekend's tournament. He's going to play in the whatever Open next week, preparing for the Masters. That's all I got.
That was what I was gonna say.
Well, hey, I'll jump in.
Rob,
I'll
yeah.
jump.
Well,
I'll
good
jump
job,
in real
Tony.
quick. Hey.
Bob. Do you have something to say about golf?
Tiger's playing in Mexico.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, next week.
Oh, wow.
He's playing right now that he's sitting out next
All
week's
right.
tournament then.
All right. Well, let me reel this back in. Hey, order in the
5
court.
unders choking.
What I want to bring up is spring training is just kicking off. We'll talk a little bit of MLB real quick. Manny Machado, $300 million signed with the Padres.
How
What
many
the
years?
Hello.
How many years?
I don't. Yeah,
No,
is
it's
it
10 years. 10
Yeah,
years.
$30
There's
million a
quite
year.
few.
Yeah, what a doozy.
Dude.
But that deal, and then with the Caps getting Corbin, so you got 3 aces. I mean, you got Corbin, Scherzer, and Strasburger.
Wow.
If
Wow.
Strasburg can stay healthy for the whole year, I mean, you have 3 aces in your starting lineup. I mean, they should do well. Like,
I want to.
it just depends on whether Harper wants to stay or go
Yeah,
or whatever,
I mean,
hey, and
wherever
Bryce
he's
has
at.
to go
Who,
with
Bryce
who really
Harper.
knows?
Bryce Harper will command more than Manny Machado. I know it, and that's probably why he's
400
still
million?
Yeah, that's why he's still sitting on the sidelines.
$12
Everybody's
billion.
been speculating
What do
he's
these
going to go to the
guys make?
Phillies. He's going to go to the Cubs. He's going to go. He's not going back to the Nats. I know that because
Bryce Harper's not going
yeah,
to the Nats.
They're
Not
they're
staying.
over it. They're like adios. So. I mean, to the Cubs, whatever. To the Phillies, now that's interesting. That would. Hey, no, I would like it. I would like it. You know.
Philadelphia is just a horrible town, right?
I know.
Cyrus, can you help me out with something?
What's up?
Is it just me, or didn't Manny say at a certain point? Didn't he say something along the lines of like, I don't play hard or something like that? Like he doesn't play every day.
He loves it sometimes. He dogs it just like every other player.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
it's 162 games.
Yeah, that's a long season, bro.
You
Long
can't
season.
be your 100%
Cry me a
best.
fucking river. You get played to hit a ball, catch a ball, and throw a ball.
Yeah,
Shut
I
the
know,
hell
but
up
you're
and
not
get
gonna be.
out there.
Hey, just like you're not gonna be as passionate about this show every time you step on the scene, are you?
Damn right.
I mean, your hair is definitely not as passionate about it.
Suck it.
Damn, that's
No, it's
That's
growing
cold.
in.
That's
brutal.
It's growing in here.
Hey,
Not
but
so
if
much
you're-
here
if
and there,
you're-
but
Not so
right
much
here,
here, but-
right here,
If you're an MLB slappy, you're happy right now because spring training is kicked off, and it's nice weather out there. You got the Grapefruit League, the Cactus League,
We have
whatever.
any
else is-
real preseason favorites to win to head to the World
Wait,
Series?
can
right
I
now?
ask one more thing?
I know
it's
Detroit's
way-
not one of them.
yeah.
How
I
are
mean,
the
it's
Astros
way
winning?
too early.
But
Way
no.
too
I
early.
mean, they're always favorites. We're a month and
Yeah.
a half out. Detroit.
Well, now
the
they're
Astros
now
gotta
the
be up
Astros
there.
have been better,
How
but
are the Cubs? How are the Mets? How are are those guys still in the running?
well, I know
They
you.
got some
They
young
said.
teams, so.
Speaking of the Mets, I know they said Jonas Cespedes stepped into spring training, looked like he was a tight end more than an actual MLB player. So.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Really?
He might have to drop about 50 pounds.
So he Antonio Gates himself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the guy likes to eat, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, they're young. They're good. We got the best farm system in the country right here in town. Best AA team in the country right here in town, and they're feeding the Houston Astros every freaking week. I can't wait to start talking about Hooks baseball here in a couple of weeks.
I love
honestly, that's your kid. Do we? Is Logan in here?
He's not here right now, but he's down.
We need some people to talk about the Hooks on a regular
Definitely,
basis.
man.
All right. So there's no doubt. This show is not intended to be a local show, right? We are local, no doubt. But we're not going to get hung up on talking about. Local
By the way, it's a
sports
beautiful
exclusively.
sunny day here in South Texas. Corpus
Yeah,
Christi.
damn right it is.
High of
Everybody else in
73,
Virginia been messing around with
gorgeous.
snow for the last few weeks. Like, guess what?
Yep.
We ain't.
Mike, Kansas
not
City,
here.
suck it.
Not
4
us.
degrees up there.
Yeah, I don't think so. But it is the truth. We should talk about the Hooks, and even though it's not a
Definitely.
national team, we should be talking about
Well,
them.
I mean,
Feeder
they're-
team
they're-
for the
they're
Astros.
feeding a World Series potentially.
Correa
team,
came
Well,
out
Tony,
there.
I mean,
Beautiful.
you're feeding a World Series gentleman and
Well,
me
I do
with all
that.
those Chef Tony meals at Corpus Christi mealprep.com.
That's right.
Hey! Do you guys want to talk about some upcoming games or?
Yeah, let's do it.
I really don't have anything in the college basketball world to talk about game-wise, except
You're killing
Shocking.
it, Tony.
except the fact
So glad Tony's
except
prepared.
the fact that we're a week or two away from the end of the season.
Hey, can I
We're
get someone to
really
tell me what the
tightening
score
out.
is of Michigan
Everybody,
State?
I think game's off already. It has to have been
Did,
over.
did Michigan win? If they didn't,
I hope
There's some
they
good
did.
games. Michigan State play each other again here in a week or
Number
two.
7 versus number 10.
Kansas State
Actually,
play each other.
it's fucking State. Man.
Aw.
Going by
State,
7, 77-70.
Wow. It's about
Wow.
time Big Blue lost. Yeah.
Boo.
I'm not a huge Tom Izzo fan, but that's still a good win. But there's a lot of excitement coming up. We're going to talk about more about the NCAA next week and what the conference championships look like, what the conference tournaments
Yeah.
look like.
Hey, March
And then
Madness is coming up, and if
leading into
you're
March
Yes, it
Madness.
is, dude.
If,
All
you're
right,
a
so
if you're a degenerate
We're 3
gambler
weeks
like
out.
myself, you're gonna really enjoy March Madness.
hey,
yeah.
Cyrus, you know what we're doing for March Madness?
What
right?
are we doing? Are we gambling?
We're going to
Can't tell
Vegas,
anybody yet
aren't we?
because we haven't figured it out yet.
Oh,
but
yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to do something.
Vegas.
We're going to Vegas.
Vegas.
Go to Vegas.
Babe, can I go to Vegas?
Apparently, we're going to Vegas.
Come on, Furman.
All right,
Eric.
raise your hand
So
if you
that-
guys
that's
are
all
J Rock,
in
let's
on
go to
Vegas.
Vegas. Let's go to Vegas.
That's all I got for the
Thumbs down.
NCAA. We'll talk
Thumbs
way
down.
more
Eric's
about that
in.
in depth next week. So
go to
Mom's
Vegas.
Down. Mom's down.
Hey, all right.
Y'all, we're going to Vegas for March Madness. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do, don't trust anything you hear on this show. But if you want to trust one thing, it's that Tony said that he would pay for everybody's flight to go to Vegas.
We're going
Hey,
to
Tony,
Vegas.
you're a hell of a guy. I don't
It's
care what
because
everybody
as
thinks
his
about
hair
it.
grows, so
It's
does
just
his
what I do.
pocketbook.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
So
That
philanthropic.
horseshoe is lucky.
yeah.
He's going
Whoa.
to Vegas to get his head shaved again.
You guys suck so much ass.
He's growing his hair out so it matches his wallet.
So anyway, where are we at? What are we doing?
we're just doing
I think we were did you have any upcoming games for the NBA? Did you want to talk about
no,
it?
wait. I still have my dealer's choice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
wait.
That's-
Yeah.
So I want to ask a question. This is you know me. I have a tendency to bleed my sports statistical questions into ethical discussions.
Oh, great.
So I have a question.
Can't
to
wait.
ask. It's
Love ethical questions.
it's about the AAF or AA Steve.
Oh,
or
hey,
AA
where's
whatever.
Xavier? He's a big AAF
Oh,
slappy.
yes.
Well, that don't matter.
Go San Antonio
So,
tonight, by
X,
the way.
X.
The football
Tell you-
league that never
bro,
will
I'm
be.
gonna do my best. I'm trying to stand up for your league here, but I want you to know, man, I love you. I miss you. But when you come back,
No, he doesn't.
I think the I think the AAF has some fucking better stats to talk about when you come back. So
Honestly,
here's,
X, when you
here's
come back, you better have a better attitude.
Hey,
But-
didn't an NHL owner have to dish $250
Well, see,
million?
and this is what I'm.
An NHL
Yeah.
owner dished
The
$250
NHL
million
owner,
to help
like,
these guys
yeah,
out.
So-
like, hey,
so
your league
this is
sucks.
my main
You're
thing.
not a feeder league to the NHL or NHL.
Well, here,
NFL.
wait. Let me
Definitely not a feeder league to the NHL. You're right about that.
let me do my fucking bit.
Keep
Sorry.
talking.
We're off the rails. Hank, go back.
So, is it incumbent upon the NFL to keep the AAF alive, even if it's not necessarily their league, but the whole ploy this whole time has been about the AAF being not only a secondary league, but a feeder league? And if it is so, why does it seem like the NHL, what's up, Fireman? Why does it seem like the NHL is the one that's bailing them out?
If the NFL has a vested interest in the league, it's damn right incumbent upon them to put whatever the support. They
I
can
disagree.
to market that league. But if they have a vested interest, if they actually have a monetary interest, they're going to. But they don't. They don't have a
The
stake
feeder
in it.
league
They
for
don't
the
want-
NFL
they got
is
college
the
football, they're good.
NCAA.
And this is the
You
argument. You know?
don't need
They've
that
had
league.
the NCAA forever. What about the guys that get overlooked? I mean, let's just assume for 1 second Mr. fucking Golden Boy Tom Brady wasn't taken in the 6th round of the draft in
199th overall.
199th overall. Let's assume that maybe he was 238
baby?
out of 237. Maybe that guy needed a freaking, what about the Kurt Warners of the world? There's the Canadian League. But if you could combine all this stuff on a professional
I
level,
wanna distill this.
after these kids get
Just
out of
saying,
college,
percentage-wise.
but there's still
right.
a use, a purpose to seeing these people play and maybe bringing them up. Doug Flutie, Kurt Warner, two not Super Bowl winning,
Not Trent
one,
Richardson.
but not Trent Richardson. No, he's already had his turn. But there's definitely value in these players, and if the NFL feels like there's value in these players, then the NFL should support this league and should put their dollars behind it.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's not going to be.
That's
It's definitely not going to be a competitor to the NFL. That's for sure. So
course
they're
not,
not
of
worried
course not,
about
of course
that.
It never will be.
Yeah, they're not worried about
It's not
that.
even AA baseball. It's AAA baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, and it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, all right. So the reason I bring it up is because I find it both entertaining and funny. I think that the fact that we've got a football team in San Antonio makes me excited, and that's
Love San
entertaining.
Antonio. I hope they're winning tonight.
The fact that they are they were a week and a half, right? What was it on Saturday? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it on
I
Saturday
think this
afternoon?
is the third week in it. So
Well, no, I know, but I mean, whenever the Carolina Hurricanes guy came in, and
that
bought,
was right after the
was
first
that
or second
after
week.
second week?
Yeah,
First
second
week?
week. Yeah,
I mean, all-
I don't know
250
when the
million.
games are, so I'm just as bad as everybody else here. On this league.
Basically, like, here's my thesis. We have ourselves a league.
Whoa, big words.
That's it's 2 syllables. We have ourselves a league that is supposed to be doing something that we all freaking admittedly love. I mean, if I wish I was talking about the NFL this whole time. And we're talking about the AAF, right? It's a brand new league. It might as well be the XFL.
Do you have any more beers down there?
Yeah,
A
here.
lot of dead
Not for
soldiers
you.
floating around.
Oh shit. But anyway, my point is if it is important, I feel like the NFL should support it.
I
I'm
believe
with you.
they should.
I'm with you too. It doesn't harm the league at all to have more teams or more players showcasing themselves on TV in actual live games, like especially guys that have been on the league. Like, wasn't T.O. trying to come back into the league for like 20 years after?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
not
still
really.
trying to
More
come
like
back in the
5
league.
years.
He's got a cane.
Yeah.
and
Or
everything.
you got a
He's
guy
still-
like
he's
He
still-
Hate Me who gets signed by
Hey,
an NFL
Tony-
team for a year
hey,
and make a little money.
Hey, T.O. is somewhere right now in his driveway doing sit-ups, trying to get someone to sign him.
He still is.
I guarantee, and he's crying with sunglasses on, talking about his quarterback.
All
I
right,
guarantee.
sorry. I know I'm going over time, and I'm sorry.
It's all right,
But
it's all right.
I want to bring up one more
It's
thing.
your show. You can do what we want.
It's obviously our show. Here's the thing. So I'm pretty sure that the biggest part of this discussion that we were having during the rehearsal was the difference between the AAF and the NCAA football and the NCAAF. And how they feed players in the league, and how it might be different for some kid coming out of high school, and they give themselves everything to be able to go through school, but on the same time, I mean, they're getting paid for their education.
Here's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
next question.
They're-
Do kids decide to go to the AAF in lieu of college football to make money while they're being scouted by the NFL? If that's the case, if kids start not going to college
That's a
and
really
playing
good
in the
point.
AAF
That's
and
a
then
really
going
good point.
directly into the NFL,
Box of worms
then
open.
the NFL absolutely should support that league and should, I mean,
That's a huge point.
We're
I
talking,
hadn't thought about that yet.
we're talking players
That's like,
not getting paid in
like
college.
juniors in
We
hockey.
just found a way for college players to get paid, in the AAF.
And like what Chris just
when does
said,
that open up?
Yeah,
Like
I'm
what Chris
done.
just
That's
said
the last
in
thing
the-
but fucking A, that's a
yeah.
really good point.
What Chris just said in the NHL or in Major Hockey League in all aspects, you can go out of high school, you can go juniors, you can go Canadian juniors, you can go college. You have so many options. You don't have to go. Yeah, you can go to the KHL in Russia. You can go Austria. You can play anywhere. You don't have to go to college. Whereas in the NFL, it's like you get drafted out of college.
And the NBA, you
That's
have European
set in
basketball.
stone,
You have
yeah.
there are other leagues. You can choose to go play in
wrong
China.
Wrong way.
One more
Wrong way,
time,
wrong
baby.
way.
But you'd go choose to play in China instead of going that 1 year as an 18-year-old kid in basketball, and then go right in the NBA.
Hey,
or you
speaking-
go play in
speaking of this-
Yugoslavia. Whatever.
Speaking of this topic about kids coming up and alternative leagues, Adam Silver and the NBA has pretty much brought up to the forefront that they want to propose going back to drop them out of high school straight into the pros, getting rid of the one and done, and kids that are 18
Well,
go
like
play.
that age, like that kid right over there.
All that does is piss me off in Duluth college basketball, but I understand the necessity for it.
I just
Because
wanna
you get
say,
a guy
like-
like Azubuike or Zion Williamson who gets hurt, then they got to go. They wish they hadn't have gone. They wasted a year.
Yeah,
they have
exactly.
nothing
Yeah.
to show for it.
No,
I get it. You know?
The chances are for somebody that's going to get drafted out of high school, you have to be a phenomenal, like, head above everybody else. You know what I mean?
Like a LeBron.
Exactly.
There aren't that
So,
many.
like, that, I mean, that's just it. So there's no really point
So
to
what is
the
exactly?
rule.
What is it? What is
There's
it really going to affect
There's
anybody?
0 point to the rule. So get rid of the rule and let them come right out of high school. You know what I mean?
If they're that
there's
good and you
no-
want to waste a draft pick on it, more power to you.
This is
Exactly.
totally the opposite of what
It's all right.
guys. These
That's
are
the whole
kids.
point of this.
No, we switched it.
Need a
It's
place to
little bit.
cry, buddy?
Yeah, it's a topic of discussion. That's why we're here, boys.
I wish I was still 18 years
Where are we at for time, Hank? We got
I
time to
think
talk
we're
about
gonna
something.
wrap this up, aren't we?
We're
we
at
got?
34 minutes already. We,
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
we've had a few Chardonnays. I think we've gone through like
Whatever.
4 buckets. So
Is there another beer over there? Is that it?
yeah,
No,
there's
that's
probably
it.
another beer.
Yeah,
All
hands
right,
off.
what's next on the docket?
I want to talk about some upcoming NHL games because I love the
You're
NHL.
giving away my last beer?
And then I'll let you guys get back to it. Panthers in the Avalanche. Barkov having a hell of a year for the Panthers. Luongo's still killing it in the NHL. He's probably like 40 years old, still a great goalie. These teams are both fighting for a playoff spot. The Avs have Mikko Rantanen and McKinnon. Both having MVP type seasons. Tune into that. They're playing on Monday. Sharks and Bruins. I know Xavier would be here saying, "Go Bruins! I love the fucking Bruins," but he can't name one person on their team.
Damn right.
2 teams firmly trenched in the playoff race. They have very similar records. They could meet in the finals. And I talked about the Sharks last year with Joe Thornton. The toughness and skills the same. The records are the same. Marchand, the little pest, still playing. Brent Burns on the Sharks. He's a defenseman leading his team in points. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
really
he's
ridiculous.
and if you've seen him, he's got giant beard, no teeth, tattoos all over his body. He's got a farm in Texas. He's the opposite of an NHL player, but I love him. Brett Burns, look him up. He's an awesome guy. And then Flames Islanders on Tuesday. Also tune into that. This is similar to the Sharks and Bruins. They've been 2 teams in different conferences, but very similar trajectory. But the Islanders, they were very low in the standings last year, and they got rid of John Tavares left them in the John Tavares left them in the offseason to go to the Leafs. And in free agency, they added Coach Barry Trotz, who got cast away by Washington. He led Washington to a Stanley Cup last year, and they let him go. So that was weird. But now the Islanders turned around, and they're leading the league in the Metro, and the Flames are leading the league in the Pacific. So watch those games, boys.
Gotcha.
All right.
Will do.
What do you got? What do you got, Hank?
I'm sorry, I was looking up.
Yeah, I know you were ruining my shtick the whole time. So thank you for
ruining
that.
the bit.
No, I was
ruining the bit.
with a very poor meme.
No, come on. Did you see that meme? That was hilarious.
Don't throw that out
this
there.
sad
Ryan.
little child.
Don't
having
be
to-
so negative.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. All right, so
So what do we got for upcoming NBA games or upcoming NCAA games, Tony?
Well, I was gonna say the
anything that
NCAA
Chris wants to say because he hasn't tuned in on anything except for random stupid things about Robert
Conference
Kraft.
tournaments and everything. I've covered my upcoming.
Chris, you have any final words? Because you haven't said a whole lot.
Chris, thanks for
Yeah,
being
yeah.
here today, by the way.
Oh,
Other
really?
than,
Thanks,
other
man.
than
Yeah,
pleasure
Michigan,
having you.
other
Yeah,
than
'cause-
Michigan's awesome, Robert Kraft is cool because he got blowy.
Basically, yeah. I get a call
LeBron
like, hey,
James is old.
About an hour from now, I need you to go on and come up with something to say. I'm like,
Well, good job stepping in.
yeah.
Thank you very
know.
much.
I'm a warm body filling the
Hey,
spot.
Big
And
shout
by
out
the
to
way,
JT.
by the
Big
way,
shout out to
you
Bob
suck.
for
Yeah.
posting up and doing a little quick commentary.
Can we? All right. So here, so far, we have not yet done a hootie hoo, and there's a reason.
That's because there's no bartenders.
Yeah, it's because we're here
Sad
hanging
story.
out at the exchange after brunch.
was
Brunch kicks ass, but it
BYOB.
ends at 3:00. And what we did was come in here afterwards. So what we can do though is, I guess we'll do that. And
Is
then,
that a bromosa? It's a
whatever,
beer
Tony's
mosa.
drinking the same thing. So so cheers. Hootie hoo, ladies and gentlemen.
Episode 5, ladies and
Episode
gentlemen.
5,
If
yeah.
you sat through this whole thing, God bless you again. I don't know how we don't make it just it doesn't implode on itself, but we make it through. We have a good time here. We had some special guest panelists, and like I said, thanks for watching. Check back with us next week.
Wait.
Hang on.
Real quick. I hadn't done my.
No, you had your shot. You blew it.
All right. I'll make it quick. I'll make it quick.
All right.
So I want to know who fucks the next game up worse, the Spurs or the Lakers?
Lakers.
Yeah.
The Lakers.
Just to go against the grain, I'll say the Spurs just because I know you're a Spurs slappy.
Thank you. I actually appreciate that.
I do love what is it, Aldridge or whatever? He's all right.
What do you mean Aldridge or whatever?
Yeah,
Lawrence
that
Aldridge is the
that
man.
guy that's might be their MVP.
Where do
But
you play college basketball? Texas, I believe, right?
I knew
not
Hank
DeRozan.
was dedicated when we went up to go see the Spurs and he stayed in his tent.
Hey, you
in
know what the best
downtown
thing
San
about
Antonio.
hey,
Like, that's how I knew he was.
you know what the best thing about
he
the
was
Spurs
diehard.
is right
when,
now?
when he sleeps on top of his Jeep
Hey.
in the middle of downtown San Antonio just to go see the Spurs.
The best thing about the
He's
Spurs right
committed.
now is that whacked out mascot they got. What's his name?
Coyote.
Wile E. Coyote?
Yeah.
He's got the bloodshot eyes. Looks like he's been blowing rails all night. Yeah, that guy's good. I love that guy.
Yeah. Welcome
Cool
to Texas.
mascot.
The
Yeah.
chick just tapped this other Jeep out here. I don't know if you guys
Cool.
saw that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. Yeah. Well, I guess this would probably win the award for show that's gone most off the rails. Episode 5. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. And
Whoop, whoop.
check back with us next week. Well, hopefully we'll be a little bit more prepared and put on a better show for you.
Hopefully we're on
But
Saturday
probably
next week,
not because
Sunday,
we
but
just
that's what
wing
we can
this
do.
shit. Thanks for watching. Love you guys.
Yeah, we're just
Hey.
fucking poo up here, guys. This is great.
Hooty-hoo.
Hey, Ric Flair just had a birthday, by the way. God damn, I love Ric
Is he
Flair.
97?
Ric Flair, Hundo.
Guy, I don't know how he's still walking, but he's doing it. Hey, thanks for watching again. Love you guys.
I thought he was dead.
Yeah. No.
Alive and well.
Ultimate Warrior's dead. Andre
All
the
right,
Giant's dead.
that's a wrap.
Hey,
Captain
that
Lou Albano's
was
dead.
that was under 40
Junkyard's
minutes.
Dog's dead.
It was under 40.
Yeah.
Who else is dead?
Good job.
Yeah. Good job, brother.
Your hair is
Shut the hell up. All hair is dead.
All hair.
All hair is
All hair is dead.
All hair is dead.
That definitely helps him sleep through the night.
Bob, thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Yes. Well done. Fucking well done. Good throw, dude. Shit. All right. It's not that I have to pee, it's that I have to explode. Yeah. Yo, what?